The smell of burning toast yanks me from sleep, and for a moment I'm disoriented, thinking Jake's making breakfast again. Then reality crashes in. Jake hasn't made me breakfast in 8 months. He's probably making breakfast for Lily now. I stumble to the kitchen, cursing as I rescue the blackened bread from my temperamental toaster. The autumn sun streams through my apartment windows, catching the diamond on my left hand, the one I still can't bring myself to remove. 5 years of marriage reduced to a sparkly reminder of everything I've lost. My phone buzzes. It's Valerie, my one remaining ally at Townsend Corp. "Vienna, you need to see this. Check your email now." I pull up my inbox and there it is. The company-wide announcement complete with a photo that makes my stomach lurch. Jake and Lily beaming at their surprise weekend wedding. My husband, ex-husband, and my best friend of 15 years, looking like they've just won the lottery of life. "Did you know?" Valerie's voice is gentle. "About them?" "No?" The word comes out as a whisper. I knew they'd been spending time together after everything. Lily said she was just helping him through the divorce. I laugh, but it sounds hollow even to my ears. Guess she was helping herself to my husband. "There's more," Valerie says. "Keep reading." I scroll down, my hands shaking. Beneath the wedding announcement is a promotion notice. Effective immediately, Lily Townsend now, is being appointed Chief Strategy Officer. My old position. The one I built from nothing over 12 years before Jake orchestrated my voluntary resignation during our divorce. "The retreat's tomorrow," Valerie continues. "They'll both be there. The whole executive team will. The annual leadership retreat. I'd forgotten. Last year, I'd led the opening keynote. This year, I wasn't even invited. "I can't avoid them forever," I say, more to myself than Valerie. "Might as well face them now." "Vienna," Valerie hesitates. "Maybe you shouldn't." "I'm still a shareholder," I cut in. "I have every right to be there." After hanging up, I stand in front of my closet, pushing past the comfortable work-from-home clothes I've lived in since leaving Townsend. At the back hangs the red power suit I wore the day I closed the Morrison deal, the biggest acquisition in company history. Lily had been so proud of me that day. We'd celebrated with champagne in my office, plotting our rise through the corporate ranks together. "We'll run this place someday," she'd said, clinking her glass against mine. The dynamic duo. Some duo we turned out to be. The suit still fits perfectly. I spend extra time on my makeup, erasing any trace of the sleepless nights and tears. The woman in the mirror looks powerful, controlled. No one would guess she's breaking inside. The retreat venue is a luxury resort, an hour outside the city. I time my arrival perfectly, late enough to miss the morning mingling, early enough to slip into the back of the main presentation room just as Jake takes the stage. He looks good. Of course he does. He's practically glowing as he welcomes everyone, making the same terrible jokes that used to make me groan affectionately. A few rows ahead, Lily sits in my old seat, nodding along. She's wearing the Cartier bracelet I noticed on her wrist months ago. She'd said it was a gift from her parents. Now I wonder if it was from Jake all along. My presence creates a ripple of whispers. Jake falters mid-sentence when he spots me, but recovers quickly. Too quickly, like he's been practicing for this moment. After his speech during the coffee break, Lily approaches. She's wearing the confident smile I taught her to use in tough negotiations. "Vienna, I'm so glad you came." She reaches for a hug like nothing has changed. I step back. "Congratulations," I say coolly. "On everything. I wanted to tell you myself, but it all happened so fast." Her smile slips slightly. "You understand, don't you? Sometimes life just takes unexpected turns." Over her shoulder I see Jake watching us, his expression unreadable. Lily follows my gaze and something flickers across her face. Guilt. Fear. Before I can process it, she's composed again. "We should catch up properly," she says. "There's so much to discuss." "Yes," I agree, matching her smile with one of my own. "So much." She turns to leave but pauses. "That suit, isn't that what you wore for the Morrison deal?" Good memory. Those were simpler times, weren't they? There's an edge to her voice I've never heard before. Back when we thought we knew what we wanted, she walks away, leaving me with the distinct feeling that I've missed something crucial. That beneath the perfect facade of their fairy tale romance and corporate success lies a story I don't yet understand. But I will. Oh, I will. The rain hasn't stopped for 3 days. I'm staring out my home office window when the email arrives. Its cheerful subject line a stark contrast to its contents. Organizational restructuring. Important updates. My hands don't shake this time. Maybe I've been expecting this since the retreat, since I saw the way Jake and Lily exchanged glances when they thought no one was watching. The message is corporate poetry, flowery language about streamlining operations and optimizing leadership structures. But the meaning is clear. My consulting contract with Townsend Corp is terminated, effective immediately. Valerie calls before I've finished reading. I just heard. Those bastards. Tell me what's really happening in there. I keep my voice steady, professional, like I'm discussing someone else's life falling apart. It's worse than we thought. Lily's been meeting with the board privately. She's dismantling your entire division, piece by piece. Everyone you hired, every project you started, she's either killing it or claiming it as her own vision. I think of Mia, the bright-eyed intern I'd mentored last summer. Of Paisley, who'd worked miracles to land us the Asian market expansion. What about the team? Some are being relocated, others. Valerie's silence says enough. My throat tightens. She's destroying everything I built. There's something else. Valerie lowers her voice. I overheard Jake and Lily arguing in his office yesterday. She was upset about some documents he wanted her to sign. Something about transferring shares before the quarter ends. A memory surfaces Jake 2 years ago explaining his elaborate plan to restructure company ownership. I'd thought he was protecting our future. Now I wonder if he'd been plotting my exit even then. My doorbell rings, interrupting my thoughts. Through the peephole I see Lily, rain-soaked and looking nothing like the polished executive from the retreat. I know you're in there, Vienna. Her voice is thick. Please, 5 minutes. I should ignore her. Instead, I open the door. She steps inside, water dripping onto my hardwood floors. I had to explain in person. About the contract. Save it. I cross my arms. I'm sure the board had very compelling reasons. It wasn't my decision. She runs a hand through her wet hair. Jake insisted. He said keeping you connected to the company was too risky. Risky? I laugh. I built half that company. You don't understand. There are things happening, decisions being made. She stops, biting her lip. I never wanted any of this. Really? Because from where I'm standing, you've gotten everything you wanted. My husband, my job, my life. Your life, her eyes flash. You think I wanted to be Jake's backup plan? His consolation prize after you? She cuts herself off. After I what? Nothing, forget it. She moves toward the door, then pauses. Check your old files. The Morrison deal documentation. There's something you need to see. Before I can respond, she's gone, leaving only wet footprints and questions. I spend the next 3 hours digging through archived emails and digital folders. At first, I find nothing unusual in the Morrison acquisition paperwork, just standard contracts and due diligence reports. Then I notice something odd. The final ownership structure doesn't match my original proposal. Somewhere between my draft and the executed version, key percentages shifted. Control of certain assets moved between shell companies I don't recognize. My phone rings. Unknown number. Vienna. The voice is familiar but unexpected. It's Andy. Andy Gibson. We met at the Thompson conference last year. Andy Gibson, the venture capitalist who'd tried to poach me for his firm before everything fell apart. I heard about your contract, he continues, and I've been watching Townsend's recent moves. Very interesting patterns emerging. I think of Lily's cryptic warning, the modified documents. What kind of patterns? The kind that could be very valuable to someone with the right insight. Someone like you. He pauses. Have dinner with me tomorrow. We should discuss your future. After we hang up, I sit in the growing darkness, listening to the rain. On my laptop screen, financial statements and ownership diagrams glow like a puzzle waiting to be solved. Jake always said I was brilliant at seeing patterns others missed, at finding leverage in unexpected places. Time to prove him right. I open my safe and pull out a small red notebook, the one where I used to track my most sensitive business insights. The last entry is from 8 months ago, the day before Jake asked for a divorce. On a fresh page, I write a single sentence. To destroy a castle, first find its foundation. The scent of espresso mingles with expensive cologne as Andy slides into the booth across from me. Le Petit Bistrot, his choice, private enough for secrets, public enough to seem innocent. You look better than at the retreat, he says, studying me over his menu. You were there? Back row, watching Jake's performance. His smile is sharp. And yours. The waiter arrives. Andy orders for both of us in perfect French, then pulls out his phone, sliding it across the table. On the screen is a financial news article about Townsend Corp's upcoming merger talks. Notice anything interesting? He asks. I scan the piece, my pulse quickening as I spot it. The timing of the merger discussions aligns perfectly with when Jake first suggested our divorce, when he started spending late nights at the office with Lily. They needed me gone before this went public, I say slowly. But why? Because you would have seen what they're trying to hide. Andy leans forward. The merger's a cover. They're really preparing for a hostile takeover of Morrison Industries, the same company from my biggest deal, the acquisition that made my career and apparently planted the seeds of its destruction. That's why they modified the original ownership structure, I murmur. They were laying groundwork, even then. Smart girl. Andy's eyes gleam. Here's the interesting part. I've been quietly buying Townsend shares, with your insider knowledge and my capital. He lets the implication hang. Our food arrives. I push my salmon around the plate, mind racing. What's your angle? Maybe I just enjoy watching arrogant men fall, he shrugs. Or maybe Morrison's board would be very grateful to whoever prevents this takeover. Grateful enough to offer a certain displaced executive a fresh start. My phone buzzes. Valerie. I excuse myself to take the call in the restaurant's elegant bathroom. Where are you? She demands. Lily's been asking questions about your old files. She seems scared. I'm having dinner with Andy Gibson. Silence. Then, be careful, Vienna. Andy's not exactly known for his loyalty. Neither was my best friend. I catch my reflection in the mirror, cheeks flushed, eyes bright with possibility. Besides, what do I have to lose? Back at the table, Andy's typing on his laptop. Just sent you some documents, proof of what they're planning. Look them over tonight. And if I'm interested? We move fast. I have other investors ready. He closes his laptop. But first, you'll need to talk to someone. Get some additional leverage. Who? Ria, my sister. He writes an address on his napkin. She handles certain sensitive aspects of my business. Meet her tomorrow. Later that night, I pore over Andy's documents. The takeover plan is brilliant in its complexity and familiar. I recognize Jake's strategic fingerprints, but there's something else. Something that reminds me of late-night strategy sessions with Lily, when we'd dream up elaborate corporate maneuvers over wine and takeout. My doorbell rings. Again, Lily stands there, but this time she's stone sober and angry. Are you insane? She bursts past me. Having dinner with Andy Gibson? Do you know what Jake will do if... If what? I step closer. If he finds out I know about the Morrison takeover? She pales. You don't understand what you're dealing with. Then explain it to me. You owe me that much. I can't. Her voice cracks. God, Vienna, I wish... She stops, composing herself. Just stay away from Andy, please, for your own safety. Like you stayed away from Jake? She flinches as if I'd slapped her. That was different. I never meant... It wasn't supposed to happen like this. How was it supposed to happen? Instead of answering, she pulls something from her bag. A USB drive. Everything you need to know is here. But Vienna? Her eyes meet mine. Once you look at this, there's no going back. After she leaves, I stare at the drive for a long time. Finally, I plug it in. The files are encrypted, but I recognize the format. It's the same encryption Jake and I used for our most confidential documents. He'd taught me the password structure himself, late one night in bed. My fingers hover over the keyboard as I remember his words. The best passwords are things only you would know, moments that changed everything. I type in the date of our first kiss. Access denied. The date we met. Access denied. I close my eyes thinking, what moment really changed everything? Then I know. I type in the date of the Morrison deal closing. The files open, and suddenly I understand why Jake wanted me gone, why Lily looks haunted, why Andy's really interested. This isn't just about a takeover. It's about what happened 3 years ago when we all made choices we couldn't undo. And now those choices are coming back to destroy us all. The city roars 20 stories below as I wait in Andy's sister's office. Rhea Gibson looks nothing like her brother. Where he's all polished charm, she's raw energy, sprawled in her chair with combat boots on her desk. "So you're the one who made my brother cancel his vacation," she grins. "The files were enlightening, weren't they?" My hands clench around my coffee cup. "How did you know about the USB drive? Please." She waves dismissively. "Lily's been my client for months. Who do you think helped her encrypt those files?" The coffee turns bitter in my mouth. "You're working with Lily?" "I work with anyone who pays." Rhea leans forward. "But right now, I'm more interested in working with you. Because you found something in those files that even Lily doesn't know about, didn't you?" She's right. Hidden in the documentation was evidence of a second set of transactions, ones that occurred right after the Morrison deal closed. Money moved through offshore accounts, ultimately landing in a trust controlled by Jake's family. The Morrison acquisition wasn't just business, I say quietly. It was personal. Jake's family had been trying to take control of Morrison for generations. My deal finally gave them their chance. "And you never suspected?" "I thought I was just good at my job." I laugh hollowly. "Turns out I was just a convenient tool, the ambitious wife who could make deals happen without asking too many questions. Now you're asking questions." Rhea's eyes gleam. "But are you ready for the answers?" She pulls up documents on her tablet, bank statements, emails, phone records. A web of connections between Jake's family and key players at Morrison, stretching back decades. "Your husband's been playing a very long game," she says. "And Lily, she's not just his new wife, she's his family's insurance policy." "What do you mean?" "Her father sits on Morrison's board. The marriage ensures his cooperation in the upcoming takeover." Rhea pauses. "She didn't tell you that part, did she?" My mind spins. Lily's father, the quiet man who'd attended our wedding, who'd always seemed so proud of our friendship. Another piece of the manipulation. "Why are you showing me this?" "Because unlike my brother, I believe in informed decisions." Rhea closes her tablet. "Andy wants to use you to stop the takeover, but he doesn't care about collateral damage, about who gets hurt. Like Paisley, who still works at Townsend. Like Mia, the intern who reminds me so much of myself at that age. My phone buzzes, speaking of Paisley. Her message makes my blood freeze. Emergency board meeting called for next week. They're moving faster than expected. I need to protect my people, I tell Rhea, before everything explodes. Then you'll need this. She hands me a thumb drive. Contact details for everyone involved in the original Morrison deal, including some who might be interested in preventing history from repeating. I stand to leave, but she catches my arm. "Vienna, remember Lily came to you with those files for a reason. Maybe she's not just Jake's insurance policy. Maybe she's looking for insurance of her own." That afternoon, I meet Valerie in a coffee shop far from the office. Her face is drawn with worry. "They're pushing people out," she says. "Anyone who might question the takeover. Paisley's being transferred to the Singapore office next month." "Unless we stop it." I show her the thumb drive. "I need you to help me contact these people carefully, through secure channels only." She studies me. "This is dangerous, Vienna. If Jake finds out, he already took everything from me." I grip my coffee cup tighter. What else can he do? He can destroy your reputation. Make sure you never work in this industry again. Maybe. I think of Lily's haunted eyes, of Ria's revelations. But I'm done being afraid of what Jake might do. It's time to show him what I can do. My phone lights up with a text from an unknown number. Meet tonight, 8 p.m., the place where it all started. I know exactly where. The small bar where Jake first introduced me to Lily, 15 years ago. Where our friendship began, before ambition and betrayal poisoned everything. I have to go, I tell Valerie. But first, I need you to do something. Get a message to Paisley. Tell her to delay accepting that transfer. Things are about to change. Walking to my car, I call Andy. I'm in, but we do this my way. No collateral damage. Whatever you say, boss. His smile is audible. Just remember, once we start, there's no going back. I think of the young woman I was, celebrating my friendship with Lily in that bar, of the wife I became believing in Jake's love, of the executive I am now, finally seeing the whole board clearly. Good, I say, because going back isn't an option anymore. The bar looks exactly the same. Dark wood, brass fixtures, the perpetual smell of lime and whiskey. Lily's already there, perched on the same stool where we first met, when Jake introduced his two favourite women and unknowingly set this whole tragedy in motion. I wasn't sure you'd come, she says as I slide onto the stool beside her. I almost didn't. I order a Manhattan, my drink from simpler days. But I want to hear you explain why your father's involvement in Morrison wasn't worth mentioning. She flinches. How did you... Does it matter? What matters is you're still lying, still playing both sides. You think I wanted this? Her voice cracks. My father's dying, Vienna. Pancreatic cancer. Jake's family promised to take care of him, to make sure he dies with dignity instead of drowning in medical debt. All I had to do was... She trails off. Marry Jake. Help destroy me. Help save the company, she corrects. The Morrison takeover isn't just about power, it's about survival. Townsend Corp is bleeding money. The merger rumours are keeping the stock price up, but once people realise the truth... My drink arrives. I take a long sip, letting the bourbon burn. And what is the truth? Jake's family. They're not just taking over Morrison. They're going to strip both companies for assets. Thousands will lose their jobs. She leans closer, including Paisley, Mia, everyone you tried to protect. Why tell me this now? Because I found something. She glances around before continuing. Evidence that Jake's family has done this before. Multiple times. They target companies, install their people, then destroy everything for profit. But if this evidence got into the right hands, like the SEC, like Andy Gibson, her eyes meet mine. I know you're working with him, but Vienna, he's not what you think. He's... The bar's door chimes. Lily goes pale. I turn to see Jake walking in, his face a mask of calculated calm. Well, isn't this cozy? He slides in between us, ordering scotch. My wife and my ex-wife, sharing secrets. Just catching up, I say smoothly. Reminiscing about old times. Old times. He smiles, but it doesn't reach his eyes. Like when you two would plot takeovers over cocktails, or more recent times, like Lily accessing confidential files she shouldn't have. Lily's hand trembles as she reaches for her drink. Jake catches her wrist, his grip visibly tight. The board meeting's been moved up, he continues conversationally. Tomorrow morning, and my family's very interested in knowing exactly what you two have been discussing. Let her go, Jake. My voice is steel. You've done enough damage. Damage? He laughs. I gave you everything, both of you. Power, position, purpose. And how do you repay me? By conspiring with Andy Gibson? We know about the other companies, Lily bursts out. What your family did to them. Of course you do. He releases her wrist. Why do you think I married you? Your father's position was valuable, but your predictable moral outrage, priceless. You bastard, I whisper. No, Vienna. I'm a businessman. And tomorrow, when the board approves the Morrison acquisition, You'll both understand exactly what that means. He stands, straightening his tie. Oh, and don't bother calling Andy. He's been well compensated for his cooperation. After he leaves, Lily and I sit in stunned silence. He knew, she finally says. He knew everything. We played right into his hands. My mind races. If Andy's compromised, our entire plan is blown. The board meeting's in 12 hours, thousands of jobs hang in the balance. My phone buzzes, Rhea. Heard about Andy? Don't panic. Remember what I said about insurance policies? Then another text from Paisley. Got your message. Singapore transfer declined. Ready to help however needed. And finally, Valerie. Emergency meeting in my apartment. Now, bringing reinforcements. I look at Lily, seeing not the woman who betrayed me, but the friend who tried to warn me, who's still trying to make things right. Jake's right about one thing, I tell her. We were good at plotting takeovers together. What are you saying? I'm saying we have 12 hours to save everything we built, but this time we do it our way. I stand holding out my hand. You in? She stares at my offered hand, tears in her eyes. Why would you trust me after everything? Because you're not the only one who knows how to plan for betrayal. I smile grimly. And Jake's about to learn what happens when he underestimates both of us. She takes my hand, gripping it tight. Where do we start? With the truth. All of it. And then we show Jake what real businesswomen can do. Valerie's apartment buzzes with tense energy at midnight. Laptops glow, papers scatter across every surface, and 5 women who should be enemies sit planning revolution. The board meets in 8 hours, Valerie says, refilling coffee cups. Run it down again. I stand before our makeshift war room. Jake thinks he's got us cornered. He doesn't know about Paisley documenting every suspicious transaction for the past 6 months. Paisley looks up from her laptop. Or about Mia copying the internal communications before they could be deleted. Or about me, Rhea adds, sprawled on the couch. The thing about being the crazy sister is nobody watches what you access. She grins. Their security system really should be updated. Lily paces by the window. But it's not enough. Jake's family has the board in their pocket. They'll vote however he tells them. Unless... Valerie hesitates. Unless we can prove they've been compromised, that they're acting against shareholder interests. My phone buzzes. A text from Andy. Last chance. Walk away now. You don't want this fight. I show it to Rhea, who snorts. My brother always did underestimate women. He has no idea I've been building a case against him for years. Why? I ask. Because some of us remember what he did to his last partner. Her eyes darken. Some fights are personal. Lily stops pacing. Jake will destroy everyone in this room if we fail. He'll destroy thousands of people if we don't try, I counter, including your father. About that? She pulls out her phone, showing us an email. Dad's not as sick as Jake's family thinks. He's been gathering evidence too. He's ready to testify about their previous takeovers. Hope flickers, but something nags at me. It's too easy. Jake's too smart to leave this many loose ends. My phone rings. Unknown number. I answer on speaker. Hello, Vienna. Jake's voice fills the room. Having a nice little meeting. Ice floods my veins. Lily goes pale. How did you... Find you? Please. You think I don't track my wife's phone? That I don't monitor Valerie's apartment? He chuckles. I must admit, I'm impressed. Getting everyone to work together, that's the Vienna I fell in love with. The one who could always see the bigger picture. What do you want? To offer you a choice. In my hand, I have 2 press releases. One announces your appointment as CEO of Morrison Industries after the takeover. Very generous compensation package. The other, well, let's just say it details some unfortunate financial irregularities during your tenure as CSO. My hands shake. You're bluffing. Am I? Check your email. The documents appear in my inbox. The evidence is manufactured but convincing. Dates, transactions, signatures, all perfect forgeries that would take months to disprove. You have 1 hour, Jake continues. Choose the CEO position and everyone in that room walks away clean. Choose to fight me and I destroy you all. Not just your careers, everything. The line goes dead. Silence descends. I feel everyone's eyes on me. He's scared, Rhea finally says. He wouldn't offer a deal if he wasn't. Or he's toying with us, Paisley counters, making us think we have a choice. Lily approaches me, her face torn. Whatever you decide, I'm with you. We all are. I stare at the email attachments. The CEO offer is everything I've worked for. Power, validation, revenge of a sort. Jake's family would have to accept me as an equal. But I think of the Jake I married, who taught me to see 3 moves ahead, who showed me that the obvious play is usually a trap. Mia, I say suddenly, the internal communications you copied, did they include Jake's personal email? She nods. Everything from the last year. Search for anything about his family's private trust, the one they used in previous takeovers. Her fingers fly across keys. Here, encrypted messages from 3 months ago, Oh, God. She turns her laptop. The emails reveal the final piece. Jake's family never intended to honor any deals. The trust is empty. They've already moved the assets. They're going to take everything, I realize. The CEO position, the company's all of it. They'll make me the face of the destruction while they disappear with the money. 1 hour, Valerie reminds me softly. I look around the room, at Lily's determination, Rhea's fierce grin, Paisley's quiet strength, Mia's youth, Valerie's loyalty, at everything we could lose and everything we could become. I pull out my phone and dial Jake's number. Decision time, he answers. Yes, I say, but not the one you're expecting. I hit speaker and nod to Rhea, who connects her laptop to Valerie's TV. Across the screen, financial records begin to scroll, but not ours. Jake's sharp intake of breath tells me he recognizes them. The real war starts now. The boardroom feels smaller than I remember. Maybe it's the crowd. Every seat filled, reporters lining the walls, all eyes fixed on the empty chair at the head of the table. Jake's chair. He's late, Lily whispers beside me. Her hands twist a pen nervously. He's never late. I check my phone. No messages from Rhea or Valerie, who are positioned in the security office with Mia, ready to stream our evidence to every screen in the building. Paisley sits across the table, her laptop open, watching the trading signals. The door bursts open. Jake strides in, followed by 3 men I recognize from his family's trust. His eyes lock onto mine, and for a moment I see a flicker of the man I loved, brilliant, determined, unstoppable. Then he smiles, and he's a stranger again. My apologies for the delay, he announces, but I have some concerning information to share before we vote. He nods to his assistant, who begins distributing folders. Evidence has come to light of serious financial misconduct. Actually, I stand, cutting him off, I have something to share first. Vienna, he warns. Don't do this. I pick up the remote. Did you really think I wouldn't keep copies of everything? That I wouldn't recognize your family's pattern? The screens behind me flicker to life. Financial records scroll past, not just from Townsend Corp, but from every company his family has destroyed. Wire transfers, shell companies, offshore accounts. The trust is empty, I continue. Has been for months. They've already moved the money, haven't they, Jake? Just like they did with the others. Murmurs ripple through the room. Jake's family members shift uncomfortably. These documents are clearly fabricated, Jake says smoothly. And, given Ms. Howard's recent termination, her credibility is... Oh, I'm not your only problem. I nod to Paisley, who hits a key on her laptop. The trading screens explode with activity. Share prices plummet as pre-scheduled news releases hit the wire. Detailed exposés from 3 major financial publications, all launching simultaneously. Your father taught you to see 3 moves ahead, I tell Jake, but he never taught you to watch your back. Jake's facade cracks. You have no idea what you're doing. The jobs you'll destroy. Like you destroyed those other companies? Lily stands. Like you plan to destroy my father's legacy? Everything I did was for this company. Jake slams his hand on the table. For our future. No. I walk toward him slowly. Everything you did was for power. The company was just collateral damage. Like I was, like we all were. His family members are already edging toward the door, phones in hand. Jake sees them leaving and something breaks in his eyes. "Wait," he calls. "The vote has already happened." Paisley turns her screen, showing the emergency shareholder meeting results streaming in. "While you were trying to threaten Vienna last night, we were contacting major stakeholders. Amazing how quickly they'll act when they see proof their investments are about to vanish." The boardroom doors open again. 2 SEC agents enter, followed by Rhea and Valerie. "Mr. Townsend," one agent says, "we need you to come with us." Jake looks around wildly, seeing no allies left. His gaze settles on me. "I did love you," he says quietly. "In the beginning." "I know." My voice stays steady. "That's what made it so easy to trust you, to ignore the signs. But love without respect isn't love at all." As the agents lead him out, I feel a hand slip into mine, Lily, tears streaming down her face. "Your father?" I ask. "Safe. Already gave his statement to the SEC." She squeezes my hand. "Thank you for believing in me again." Paisley approaches with her laptop. "Trading stabilized. The board's approved emergency management changes. They want to talk to you." "Us," I correct her. "They want to talk to us." The reporters surge forward, questions flying. Through the chaos, I catch glimpses of my team. Valerie's proud smile, Mia's excited texting, Rhea's satisfied smirk. Women who chose truth over power, collaboration over destruction. My phone buzzes one last time. Andy. "You win. Impressive work. Dinner sometime?" I delete the message without responding. Some bridges are better left burned. The boardroom slowly empties, leaving just our core group. Sunrise streams through the windows, painting everything in new light. The same room where I once fought so hard for Jake's approval now feels like a launching pad instead of a battlefield. "So," Paisley grins, "ready to rebuild?" I look around at these women who risked everything to fight for what's right, who showed me that true power comes from lifting others up, not tearing them down. "Yes," I say, "but this time we do it together." The morning sun paints the office windows gold as I pack the last of Jake's things into boxes. His degrees, his awards, the photo of us at our wedding. All carefully wrapped in newspaper-like artifacts from another life. A knock at the door. "Still cleaning house?" Rhea leans against the doorframe, eyebrow raised. "Just finishing." I hold up the wedding photo. "Want to help me burn these later?" "Actually, I have something better." She drops a file on my desk. "Remember how I said some fights are personal? This is why." Inside are photos of a younger Rhea with Andy, working at their first investment firm. News clippings about their meteoric rise. Then court documents. A lawsuit Andy filed to force her out, using manufactured evidence of misconduct. "Jake didn't create that playbook," she says quietly. "He learned it from my brother." "That's why you helped us." "Partly." She grins. "Also thought it was time someone showed these boys how it's really done." My phone buzzes. Lily requesting a video call. When I answer, she's standing in what looks like a hospital room. "Say hi to someone." She turns the camera to show her father in bed, looking tired but very much alive. "The treatment's working," she says. "Real treatment, not Jake's false promises. Dad's going to testify against Andy next week." "Good," I smile. "How's the Morrison merger going?" "Smoothly, now that we're doing it legitimately. Their board actually seems to trust us." She pauses. "I never thought we'd be here, working together again." "Neither did I." I look at the wedding photo still in my hand. Funny how betrayal can lead to truth. After we hang up, Valerie appears with coffee and a stack of reports. Paisley's team found 3 more shell companies, and Mia's developed a tracking system for suspicious transactions. "Already? It's only been 2 days. She said you taught her to work fast." Valerie sits. "Speaking of which, the board wants your decision by tomorrow. The CEO offer. Not Jake's fake version, but a real one, earned through merit and integrity." "I'm not taking it," I say. "What?" "I'm recommending you and Lily as co-CEOs." I hand her the proposal I've been drafting. "The company needs leaders who understand both innovation and ethics, who know how to build, not just acquire. But after everything you went through to get here, I didn't go through it to get here. I went through it to learn who I am. I start unpacking my own box, not of endings, but beginnings. My red notebook, the Morrison deal documents, the photo of our team celebrating after the board meeting. "And who is that?" Ria asks softly. Before I can answer, Paisley bursts in. "They found him. Jake's trying to make a deal with prosecutors. Let him." I place the wedding photo in the box of his things. Some prices aren't worth paying. "You're really ready to walk away?" Valerie asks. "From all of it?" I look around the office, at Ria's fierce loyalty, Valerie's steady presence, Paisley's brilliant determination. Through the glass walls, I see Mia at her desk, already becoming the leader I once hoped to be. "I'm not walking away," I say. "I'm choosing something better. We're starting a new firm. Ethics-focused consulting, helping companies grow sustainably. No predatory takeovers, no hidden agendas." "We?" Ria raises an eyebrow. "If you're interested, all of you." I pull out the business plans I've been working on. "It won't be easy. We'll be competing against Jake's whole network." "Good." Paisley grabs the plans. "I like a challenge." "Count me in," Ria grins. "About time someone disrupted the boys' club." Valerie studies me. "You knew you weren't taking the CEO job all along, didn't you?" "I knew I didn't want to sit in the castle I'd helped build with lies." I pick up Jake's box. Sometimes winning means walking away and building something true instead. Together we carry Jake's things to the lobby. I pause at the security desk, hand the box to the guard. "Have these delivered to his lawyers," I say, then turn to my team. My real team. "Ready?" The morning sun streams through the revolving doors as we step outside. The city feels different now. Not a battlefield, but a canvas. Not a place to conquer, but a place to create. My phone buzzes one last time. Jake's number. I decline the call without hesitation. Some castles are meant to fall, and some queens are meant to build something better than thrones.